All right, welcome back. Hopefully, you are here to check your answers because you completed your homework on time. But if you didn't complete your homework on time, hopefully, you are watching this before you turn it in late so that you can make sure you got all the right answers because you might as well take advantage of the fact that this video is here if you're turning it in late, right? Okay. All right. So Atticus Finch started this homework, and what you were going to do, you were going to shade in the amount of the jar that was raisins, and we're just shading in some dark. So to get to a fourth, okay, I'm saying the top of the jar is there, the bottom's there, half is about there, and a fourth is a half of a half. So I'm going to say about right there. So I'm going to go across and make a little notch, same spot. And remember how we do this. We want this to look 3D like. I have to copy the same curve like I did on the bottom when I go to show it on the jar because it's going around, right? Now, some people didn't want to work that hard, okay? And they just had their jar be a total profile because a jar from the side, this is looking down a little bit, right? A jar from the side, okay, a cylinder from the side looks like a rectangle, right? So if you wanted 40%, you could have sort of gone about a little less than half, right? If you wanted 1/4, right, you could have said, I want a total profile, go half and half of a half, right? But you want to draw these cool cylinders, huh? You want to, yeah, that's how you do it. All right, same idea here. We figured out 25%, 50% is right there. That's half, and 25% is half of that. And you might recognize that 25% is looking a lot like a fourth, isn't it? Well, it's because it equals 1/4. Okay, you're going to find that. 1/3. So if that's a whole right here, a third is less than half. I want to sort of always, if I'm doing 1/3, I want to see what 2/3 I want because I want all three spaces to be equal, right? All right, so that looks about less than a half, but bigger than a fourth or 25%. How's that look? Okay. All right, remember, percent means per 100. Cent means 100. There's 100 centimeters in a meter, 100 years in a century, right? Okay, 100 cents in a dollar. So there we are, Cassie's Cashew Shop. The sign says 20% off anything, and Maribel has a coupon for 1/5. What should she use? Well, I don't know if you guys recognize 20% is 20 per 100. 20% is 20 per 100. And 10 goes into 20 twice, and 10 goes into 100 10 times, and 2 goes into the 2 once, and 2 goes into 10. OMG. 20% is the same as 1/5. Now, you could have decided I'm going to make one of those percent bars, right, or percent graphs like this, and call this 100% and call this 0, and then sort of try to divide into, right, like they did here, and you might have figured it out there because that's kind of doing the next problem, huh? Now, hopefully you wrote an explanation. Okay, whatever you came up with on 332, your teacher's going to read that and sort of try to figure out how you're thinking. Okay, so but here we have $34, and we want to figure out what is 20% of 34, right? So that's 34, that's 0. What's half of 34? Well, I already said to get half, you divide it by 2. 2 goes into 3 one time. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract. And how many times does 2 fit into 14? Good. 7. So half is going to be 17. Okay. So $17. Now, what's half of that? That'd be 25%, right? Half of 17. Here's something for you. 2 goes into 17 8 times. That's 16, right? I get a remainder. What do I do? Well, if I wanted a fraction, that could come on top. That would be on the bottom. It would be 8 1/2. But I don't want a fraction. I want a decimal. All right? Because we're talking money. So I'm going to add a 0 and bring it down. And 2 goes into 10 5 times. And 8.5. So $8.50 is going to be right here. $8.50. So I'm going to be over here at 20%. It's going to be a little less than that, huh? Okay. So it looks like I'm going to save, I don't know, $8.50. Yeah. What do you guys think? Instead of $8.50, about $7? Oh, well, let's see. 7, if 7's 20%, then that's going to be 14, right? And another 7, that'll be 21. And another 7 will be 28, and another 7 will be 35. So 7's a little too much, but it's pretty close to 7. So what do you want to say about 690, 680? Let's say 20%. It's about $6.80, right? Okay. And we will figure out how to figure out the exact answer on that probably within a week or so. So we might come back and look at that. All right. So those last two talk about adding fractions with unlike denominators. 5/12 plus 1/3. First thing I told you to do is stack them. Okay. Stack them. And then you have to come up with a number that 3 and 12 both go into. If you can't find one, you just multiply. 3 times 12 is 36. 3 goes into it, 12 goes into it. All right? And then I'm going to show you the second way. So to get 12 to 36, I times it by 3. If I times the bottom by 3 and I want this to be equivalent, then I have to times the top by 3. Why? Because I want it to equal the same thing, and the only number you can multiply by a number to get it to equal the same thing is 1. Okay? It's called the multiplicative identity property. Okay? Multiplicative, I'm multiplying, identity. It's not going to change its identity. It's disguised, but it still equals itself. 12 times 3 is 36. 5 times 3 is 15. So 5/12 is the same as 15/36. Now I did 3 times 12 here, so I go 1 times 12. So I got 15/36 plus 12/36 is 27/36. Okay, now I can simplify this, but check this out. Since 3 fits into 12, I could have just changed these to 12ths. That way I don't have to do anything to 5/12. It's already 12s. And what did I do to 3 to make it 12? I times it by 4. So do the same thing on the top, right? Because remember, this is like the magic 1. 3 times 4, 1 times 4. And I can go 5/12 plus 4/12 is 9/12. Now both of these, 27/36 and 9/12, are equivalent, and both of them can be simplified. Can you find a number that goes into 9 and 12? 3, right? Right? So I could have multiplied a number by 3/3 to get 9/12. Well, what times 3 is 12? 4. What times 3 is 9? 3. This simplifies to 3/12 or 3/4. Okay? Now this one I could have simplified as well because 9 goes into the top and the bottom. 9 goes into 27. How many times? 3. And 9 goes into 36? 4. Okay? So that simplifies to 3/4. All right. B, I was doing 4/5 plus 3/4, and we decided to use the magic 1 of 4/4 here and 5/5 here to get 20ths would be the common denominator. And 5 times 4 is 20, and 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. 3 times 5 is 15. So I'm saying 16/20 plus 15/20 is a total of 31/20. Now that's improper. Remember the ways to change an improper fraction. Divide the bottom into the top. 20 into 31. It goes one time. Now my remainder goes on top. My divisor on the bottom. The same number that was on the bottom when I started is going to be on the bottom when I get my mixed number. Remember the shortcut for that? You say 31/20 is a little bigger than 1. So I know it's going to be 1 and something. 1 and how much? 31 minus 20 is 11. 1 and 11/20 is the same as 31/20, and 4/5 plus 3/4 is 1 and 11/20. Why do we call it a mixed number? Because it has a whole number and a fraction, or a whole number and a decimal. Okay, those are called mixed numbers because they have wholes and parts. All right. These were just set up for you, and they made these too easy for you because all of them came out to the hundreds. You didn't have to fill any zeros. All we had to do is stack them and line up the decimals, and then we're off to the races, right? So 5 plus 8 is 13. Carry the 1. 1, 3, and 0 is 4. Decimal comes straight down, and 12 and 1 is 13. Boom, done with that one, right? Subtracting now. Now, I can't take 4 away from 2, so I got to borrow. Oh, there's nothing there. I got to go all the way over to this 8. It's like money, right? I'm changing in that $8, changing in one of those dollars. That would leave me with $7, and I'm going to get 10 dimes. Okay? Now, those 10 dimes, I'm going to change in one of those dimes. That'll leave me with 9 dimes and get 10 pennies. And 10 pennies plus those 2 pennies gives me 12 pennies. Now I say 12 minus 4 is 8. 9 minus 6 is 3. The decimal comes straight down, and you got 7 and 38/100. Okay? All right, subtracting here too. 8 minus 1 is 7. 3 minus 2 is 1. The decimal comes straight down. I can't take 4 from 3. Got to borrow. Now, I borrowed 10, so I got 10 more ones. Now I have 13 ones minus 4 ones. 5 minus 2, and 5 minus 1. 429 and 17/100. Okay, adding this, 2 and 9 is 11, carry the 1. 2 and 9 is 11 plus 1 is 12, carry the 1. And the decimal came straight down. That's all you got. All right, hopefully you did well on this. If there's anything that you have a question on, make sure you see your teachers in the afternoon Zooms and ask them. Okay? All right. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Get that homework done. Work real hard till Friday, right? Then you get 9 days off.